Hello everyone, this is March 2018 psychic reading for those in love with Librans, and obviously for Librans themselves if they feel like needing a bit more clarity about the energy of this month. Let's see what we are guided towards in respect of Libras, what they think, what they feel, what is the focus on for them in this month, and at the end I am going to ask if there is something in particular that is good for you to know of their lives, because they also will have to communicate properly what even if they are not ready to take action, at least what they might do, what they decide they might do, because it helps people in their life understand better, and if needed be more patient, because it takes a lot of patience to be with a Libran anyway. And if you are somebody in love with them and not a Libran yourself, or even if you are perhaps you're aware it's not easy to be with a Libra person. And that is not for a bad reason necessarily, but it's because they can be quite emotional people, and when it comes to relationships, although they need to be in a relationship, as that is the way they feel happier, they don't actually always thrive in a relationship, and it can happen that they are better off on their own, but because their inner nature sends that signal to them of being in a relationship, because Libra being ruled by Venus, obviously it's all about relationship, well, not just that, about money as well, but they are hardworking and normally they manage financially quite well, even if not as entrepreneurs, as hardworking, successful people, good in their jobs. So the problem with Librans is they need to be a bit more assertive, I believe, with their needs and wants about the future, be a bit more honest with themselves first and with the people around them. They need to be careful in communication and say less about petty subjects and whatever springs to mind in the moment, and be a bit more honest about what their plans for the future would be, and that would help their relationships. And when it comes to Libra women, I feel that they are going through an emotional shift. However, there is confusion when it comes to what is going to be in the future, so they feel they need to get through that clarifying deep thinking. But the problem is with them, I feel that would not come that quickly, so I feel they need to go ahead with the shift and how they feel, but they need to be a bit more patient about what's going to happen in the future, and also not worry so much about the outcome. And this from here on I feel applies for both Libra men and women. They all have to be confident when it comes to property, house, living arrangements, investments, anything to do with assets, because they will find right solutions, good solutions. They will be supported and achieve whatever they'll find the right people and opportunities to achieve whatever they wish for. And then also they need to stop worrying about work, because although they've been hoping for things to happen for a while, or they might have had communication about changes coming up in work, they have to stay positive, because usually with them being hardworking people and good at what they are doing, it's just a matter of time. So they, I feel, are supported when it comes to work as well. The main concern for Librans, and again this takes me back to their nature and the way they are as individuals, their main concern is about their love life and whether they should walk away from a situation or stay in a situation and wait for things to happen naturally. However, they do not want to miss out on opportunity and making the right choices and succeeding in their hopes and wishes for the future. They will be willing to look, and that is really good, really good. Well done, Librans. And you people in love with Librans should be, I feel you've been patient anyway, because you love them and they are lovable. But if you can stretch that a little bit more, life is changing for everyone and is changing for Librans as well, and they will be forced to take a good proper look by themselves. I also feel that they will have to be on their own. So even if you are in a relationship and you're going through a separation, it may not be for good. It could just be the end of a chapter and the beginning of another one. If you are in a relationship, quite established relationship, but you feel they distance themselves, let them be and get on with what they are doing because they are guided. And yeah, that is another thing. Librans are quite intuitive people, and also they are very good at reading people. They meet somebody, they look at them, and they can tell you right away whether that person is to be trusted or not. And give you a bit of quick roundup of their personality. So this is a gift of Librans. And back to what I was saying, they are being guided by their own intuition, which is high and deep, runs deep, to look into their heartache, things from the past, things that they haven't dealt with properly. And hopefully they will find the wisdom to overcome them, and I believe they will. The only problem is then they have to make choices, and I feel this is what brings me back to Libra men at the beginning, and this is the reason why they held back from deep thinking. They do it, but they're doing in cycles. They do that, but they are doing it in cycle. Is like for a while they start thinking and trying to make plans for the future and decide, make decisions, and then they come to the conclusion that it's not the right time, or they don't know for sure what they want, so they stop doing it, and then they become a bit more superficial, and then they go back to it. So this is what's happening with Librans. Also another reason for them not always thinking too much into the future is avoiding to make decisions. And it's not because they are not brave enough, because actually they are, but they are in two minds. This is the scales thing, they think they are balanced, but they actually need something to balance them, or someone. They think they know what they want, but they get to a point where the balance can be tipped easily by something from the outside. So they don't want to make decisions, not because they are not brave enough and don't want to take responsibility, but because they want to make sure they take the right decision, and that their sense of responsibility is satisfied, because they are responsible people for those around and those they care about, and they do want to make things right. So my advice for Librans, if you are a Libra watching this for yourself, is be patient, be gentle with yourself, admit to yourself that there are issues that you need to heal, and then don't worry about making decisions yet, because you're not rushed to make decisions. Just give a hint. If there are important people in your life, give them a hint about how you feel things could go, or you would like them to go. But I don't believe that you have to worry about making wrong decisions, because you are supported, and you need to have a bit more faith as well. it's very important that you trust your inner wisdom, your higher self, and the divine, because you are being guided, Librans. If you are someone, because as I said at the beginning, I'm going to ask for those in love with Librans, if there is anything for them, and there you go, the relationship card just came up. If you are someone who is hopeful of getting into a relationship with Librans, or strengthening a fresh existing relationship, what you need to know is that exactly what I said earlier. First and foremost, they are responsible people. They are family orientated people as well. It is difficult for them to make decisions, so you got to be patient, and being responsible is to a certain degree part of them finding difficult to make decisions, because usually they find that they have past relationships that created responsibilities for them, and then it's difficult to move into a new relationship before finding the right solution for the past situation, or situation from the past. So there is a lot of struggle there, but if you add to the worries, they will tend to block you, because it's easier for them to have, especially now, to have that quiet time of insight and turning inwards and assessing their needs and wants for the future by being themselves, and they don't need any aggravation, really. You also have to make sure you're not creating blocks yourselves by becoming fed up, impatient. I'm not saying you're not entitled to be. I'm not saying you've not been patient enough, but what I'm saying is whatever is of high value is always worth waiting for. So I will have a look and see. Yeah, things are changing in love for Librans, and there are opportunities coming for them. So you might want to decide whether you're patient enough and wait and be part of that, or not. As I said, responsibilities, it shows again that they have responsibilities for relationships from the past, so you have to be patient with them to find solutions to those situations as well. I do not see that there is no hope for those wanting to get into a relationship with Librans. So whether, or if you are already but you feel there are hurdles, there still are hopes for the future for your relationship to work out. You just got to give them that little bit of extra time. And as I said, I'm aware, because obviously I work with a lot of people, and I know plenty Librans. You had to be very patient with them. They actually have tried their partner's patience more than one can actually say. But if you got this far, you might as well, unless there is something, and this is just logical thinking, it's not even down to prediction, this bit, you know, unless there is something amazing, you have some sort of amazing offer that you just can't refuse, there is no point in you losing your patience right at the end, because that's the sign that you're getting near to a breakthrough, when things become really. And of course, I'm not talking here about the really low vibration situations where people are addicted to something and are in a phase that a stage that things cannot be fixed and healed, or abusive relationships. I'm not talking about really, really bad relationships, because for that kind of situations, you should just find your strength and listen to your inner wisdom, and take take cover and practically just walk away. No qualms, no comments, no thoughts about that. If it's that bad, just go. I'm talking about normal kind of situations where people just have to deal with some sort of lighter kind of trauma, and not very abusive behavior. So if you feel that they are worth waiting for, and you feel that you can live with them once you would be in a relationship with them, because you also have to get to know that person and see whether you're compatible. So if you feel you can live with them, then there is no point in just fleeing and giving up on them and your relationship now, when things are approaching a breakthrough. So this is with those in love with Librans, and those in love with them, what you need to know and to understand. Hope you find some peace of mind, and until next time, be happy, be loved.